Okay, so let's get right into it. Automated trading tools. They're more accessible than ever, right? And you hear these terms thrown around all the time. Algo trading, AI trading. But what are we really talking about here? And maybe more importantly, are they just two different words for the same thing?
It's a super important question to be asking because, as this quote points out, the whole game is changing. The kind of powerful trading tech that used to be totally locked away on Wall Street is now, believe it or not, available to pretty much everyone.
And that really brings us to the heart of this whole discussion. A lot of people use algo and AI trading interchangeably, but they are fundamentally different. And understanding that difference, well, that's the key to knowing what tool you're actually using and, frankly, how to use it right.
So, the biggest idea that separates these two powerful technologies, it really just boils down to one single simple question. Who's in charge?
Yeah, exactly. It's not about which one is better or more powerful. It's all about how much control you, the investor, actually want to have. Are you going to be the pilot, or are you okay being a passenger and letting the system fly itself?
This chart just illustrates that split perfectly. With algorithmic trading, you're the strategist. You come up with the game plan. The machine, it just automates the execution. But with AI, wow, you're more like a supervisor. The system itself is doing almost all of the strategic heavy lifting. Okay, so if control is the what, let's dive into the how. Because the way these systems actually operate, that's where you really start to see the huge difference between just following rules and actually learning.
I think the best way to think about it is like this. An algorithm is your obedient soldier. You give it an if this, then that order, and it follows it perfectly. No questions, no changes. An AI, on the other hand, is a lot more like a learning apprentice. It watches, it analyzes, and it tries to figure things out for itself, adapting its whole approach as it gets more info.
So with algorithmic trading, you're essentially creating an automated checklist. You set all the rules. You tell it what market indicators to look for, what price movements to act on. All the human decision-making happens right up front when you're designing the strategy.
So here's a classic example. You tell the system, hey, when the 50-day moving average crosses above the 200-day, I want you to buy 100 shares. That's it. The algorithm then just watches the market 24/7, and the very microsecond that your condition is met, bam, it executes. You bring the logic, it brings the speed.
AI trading, though, that's a whole different animal. It goes way beyond just following rules you've already set. It actually tries to create its own rules by learning from massive amounts of data, and it looks for patterns a human brain might never ever spot.
For example, an AI system might not just look at price charts. It could be analyzing news articles or even social media sentiment about a particular stock. If it suddenly sees a huge spike in positive chatter on Twitter, it might decide to buy before the traditional chart indicators even start to move. It's trying to predict where the puck is going.
Okay, to make this a little less abstract, let's look at a really powerful real-world example of this in action. There's one specific AI technology that is an absolute game-changer in trading.
What we're talking about is a technology called natural language processing, or NLP. And what that is the part of AI that gives machines the ability to read, interpret, and actually understand human language, whether it's from a news article, a financial report, or even just a tweet.
For decades, traders have been staring at price charts just like these, right? Looking for patterns. That's what we call structured data. But NLP? NLP lets an AI find patterns in the millions upon millions of words of unstructured data that get published about the market every single day.
And this is absolutely revolutionary. NLP can scan thousands of sources in real time just to get a read on the market's mood. Is it bullish, bearish? And when you combine that sentiment data with historical price data, well, some studies have shown prediction accuracy can get as high as 89.8%. It's about turning words into data, and data into trades, all while taking human emotional bias right out of the picture.
And look, this isn't just some theory from a research lab. These are real commercial tools from companies like Google, IBM, and even specialized firms like LuxAlgo. The big financial institutions, they're using this exact technology right now to get an edge.
But before we all get carried away, it's so important that we separate the hype from the reality here. AI is not a magic crystal ball, and, believe me, it comes with some significant risks.
There's this huge misconception out there, and you see it pushed by influencers online all the time, that AI is a set-it-and-forget-it money machine. But if you talk to the experts, the reality is we're just not there yet. The idea that a fully autonomous AI will just print money for you is, for now, a total fantasy.
In fact,
There are three really serious risks to think about. First, the quality of the model itself. Not all AI is created equal. Second, market risk. How does an AI trained on the past react to something completely new, something it's never seen before? And third, this is a big one, the black box problem. The AI might make a fantastic trade, but you have absolutely no idea why it did it. You've given up your understanding of the process.
And this quote just drives the point home perfectly. AI is an incredibly powerful tool, but it's just a machine. It doesn't have ethics, it doesn't have common sense, it can't apply context the way a human can. Think of it as a superpowered calculator, not a conscience.
So where does all this leave us? As we look at the future of investing, how should you be thinking about these incredible new tools? Well, the biggest takeaway shouldn't be that one is better than the other. It's more about picking the right vehicle for your journey. Is it an SUV or a sports car? One gives you hands-on control, the other is built for speed and autonomy. The best tool is simply the one that matches your own goals and your comfort level.
And you have to remember, this tech is just advancing at an unbelievable pace. Think of it this way. Older AI was like reading a book one word at a time, trying to keep track of the plot. But new AI, it's like it can read the entire book all at once and instantly understand how every character and every event connects to everything else. It gives it a much, much deeper grasp of the market context, and it gets it instantly. Which leaves us with a final, kind of provocative thought. As these machines get exponentially smarter, exponentially faster, and can process information in ways we can barely even comprehend, what's the most valuable asset left in the market? Well, it might just be our own, uniquely human wisdom and judgment.